used to chase the daylight, I used to chase the miles. Now the winter's in my body and the road has lost its smile.
Hey, welcome back, my taxonomy-tinkering troubadours of tarp life, my camp-categorizing connoisseurs of concrete shadows, my duct-tape disciples of definition. Hobo Yeti here. I've been homeless a couple years now, and I've seen my share of characters. And when I say that, I don't just mean quirks or moods, I mean archetypes, ways of seeing the world, lenses that shape how people survive and how they set up their lives. To be clear, I'm not talking about personalities. I'm not talking about being cheerful or stubborn or dealing with addictions. I'm talking about the deeper patterns, the operating systems that keep showing up out here. The hardware might be the same, tents, tarps, weather, hunger, but the OS is different. Some run like Windows 95, glitchy but somehow still chugging along. Others are Linux types, endlessly tinkered with but confusing as hell. A few run Apple, polished and pretty, until it crashes in the rain. However you frame it, it's the software that dictates the story. And FYI, I'm not talking about the traveling homeless, the van dwellers, or the folks parked in cars. This is the tent crowd, the mostly stationary kind, hunkered in the brush, edging along fence lines, surviving in the gaps nobody cares to look at. So, let's do the roll call. Here are some of the homeless types I've noticed out here, the good, the bad, and everything in between. 1. The ultralight. This one survives like gravity is their landlord. A tarp the size of a placemat, a tent small enough to disappear into a cargo pocket. They call it efficiency. Everyone else calls it, "Are you kidding me?" When the cops sweep, the ultralight doesn't even blink. There's nothing to carry, nothing to lose. 2. The philosopher. They treat every dumpster fire like it's a TED Talk. A cigarette becomes their semicolon, a hacking cough their dramatic pause. They'll quote Plato at a bus stop, explain capitalism with a half-eaten burrito as a prop, and ask you where society is headed while wearing socks that don't match. For them, homelessness isn't just misery. It's material for the world's worst philosophy class, and you're enrolled whether you like it or not. 3. The pretender. Shined shoes, collared shirts, a spritz of knockoff cologne. The pretender looks like they just stepped out of a job interview they'll never have. Their survival lens is camouflage in plain sight, dressing sharp while sleeping rough. It's less about tricking society, more about tricking themselves into believing they still belong in it. 4. The hard case. This one believes the universe owes them misery, and they're here to collect. Every task becomes an ordeal. Every shortcut is rejected out of spite. Camp setup must involve at least 3 injuries, 1 snapped pole, and a story about how it was easier back in the day. Their hobby is suffering. 5. The gearhead. While everyone else is begging for a lighter, the gearhead's camp glows like a RadioShack exploded. Solar chargers, power banks, a hacked-together e-bike with Christmas lights. They can't feed you, but they'll charge your phone. The irony? They own more gadgets than half of suburbia, yet still can't keep rain out of their tent. 6. The preacher man. They can't let a sentence escape without God hitching a ride. Good morning becomes God bless. Nice weather mutates into revelation. Every talk risks spiraling into testimony. It's less about saving souls, more about saturating conversation with Scripture. The preacher man is a walking pop-up church service you never wanted to attend. 7. The collector. Junk is their gospel. Camp filled with a broken fan, 3 radios that hum static, a suitcase with 1 wheel. Each object has potential, though none ever actually get used. Entering their tent feels like stepping into a thrift store curated by madness. You want to scream, but quietly, so as not to offend the treasures. 8. The passerby. You never know where they actually live. They drift between circles, bum smokes, trade jokes, vanish before any responsibility lands. Always friendly, never rooted. They're like social tumbleweeds, here, there, everywhere, but never long enough to count as present. Ghosts would envy the passerby's ability to exist without really existing. 9. The prepared. Not clutter like the packrat. This is burden by design. They lug around a backpack big enough to smother a donkey. Every zipper stretched, every strap groaning. Just in case is their religion. The one time they leave something behind, they swear it's exactly what fate will demand tomorrow. 10. The green tea. Got a rash? Rub honey on it? Depressed? Burn sage? Cold? Nettle tea, apparently. The green tea's whole worldview is wrapped in natural remedies that may or may not work, but damn if they don't sell the performance. Their camp is a half witch, half Whole Foods nightmare. Nature is their pharmacy, raccoons their interns. 11. The inventor. They treat every tarp and scrap of junk like a design challenge no one asked for. While most pitch tents flat, the inventor is out here building arches, pyramids, and tarp sculptures that look like modern art installed by accident. Their walking stick doubles as a clothesline. Their pine cone becomes a zipper pull. Their broken chair transforms into ergonomic innovation. The camp looks half genius, half fever dream, proof that survival can be as much experiment as existence. 12. The hustler. Always scheming, always chasing the next angle, the perfect median, the better sign, the rumored jackpot corner. Not just begging, they're entrepreneurs of desperation. The hustler will chase shortcuts like oxygen, dreaming of money without sweat. It's not Wall Street, but it's close. High risk, low yield, and every plan half illegal. 13. The hermit. They vanish into thickets and reemerge only to forage like a cryptid. You might catch a glimpse. Laundry bag slung low, hood up, eyes avoiding yours. Words are rationed, company avoided. Their survival strategy is silence, their religion is distance. If you find the hermit's camp, you've trespassed on sacred ground. 14. The pioneer. Every squirrel trapped is a noble conquest. Every sip of boiled creek water a spiritual victory. The pioneer talks frontier philosophy, but still ends up at Safeway when beans run dry. Self-reliance is their dream, compromise their reality. Think Daniel Boone, but with ramen packets stuffed in the bedroll. 15. The packrat. Nothing gets thrown away. A shoelace, a broken fan blade, a piece of tarp that might be useful someday. The result, a camp so cluttered it looks like the city dump sprouted a nylon roof. Survival is about volume, not function. The packrat's horde whispers, suffocate with me. 16. The self-coach. Wake up miserable? No problem. Shout affirmations at yourself until the pigeons feel motivated. Every disaster gets reframed as growth. The self-coach's camp is less a shelter, more a motivational seminar sponsored by duct tape. If optimism could cure frostbite, they'd be saints. Instead, they're just loud, earnest, and kind of sad. 17. The scavenger. They treat dumpsters like treasure chests. Every night is a mining expedition. Food, wire, busted electronics, half-empty bottles. Their genius is in seeing potential where others see trash. Their tragedy? Most of it is still trash. Still, if there's gold in garbage, the scavenger's the one who will find it, or at least die trying. 18. The been there, done that. No idea is new. No suggestion is fresh. Whatever you mention, they've tried it, failed it, hated it, and lived to tell the bitter tale. Conversations with the been there, done that are like running into a barbed wire fence. Unpleasant, predictable, and somehow unavoidable. Survival through cynicism, weaponized against everyone else. 19. The commando. Everything is tactical. Camp laid out like a forward base, gear strapped down Molly style, haircuts sharp enough to cut rope. Trips to the corner store are missions, beers are debriefs, and push-ups happen in the dirt. The commando has turned homelessness into basic training, minus the paycheck. And yes, they're going commando. And those are the lenses I've noticed. The ways people shape their survival and interact with the world. It's not the whole picture, because on top of these lenses, there are loners who avoid everyone, and others who need a crowd around them. Some chase chaos, some chase quiet. Addiction plays its part, circumstance plays its part. What I've laid out here is just one slice of the bigger mess. One way to see the strange zoo we've all ended up in. Not the lions or the elephants that fill the postcards, but the back corners. The goat that won't stop screaming. The badger pacing in the dark. The raven picking scraps out of its feathers. The tortoise chewing slow and stubborn. Nobody brags about these. No kid drags their parents over to the glass. They walk past to get to the tiger. But these are the survivors. Overlooked. Uncelebrated. Impossible to kill. I hope your road is a good one, and if you're homeless, I hope it doesn't suck for you. And remember, the line between archetype and stereotype is just one bad decision. Peace.